Pattern interruption is so important. It's so simple that you think the answer cannot possibly be that easy. There must be something else. But a lot of the times when you feel that, if you feel that you're stuck in a rut, maybe you're trying to adopt a new habit and you just find yourself like resisting it somehow, subconsciously you keep self-sabotaging. I'm telling you, pattern interruption is the way to go. I think that the most effective one is to just travel, change your location, right? Change it drastically if you have to. I'm talking hop on a literal plane to a new exotic, never before seen destination. If you do that, then that will immediately shift your perspective, and this works for a myriad of different problems. It could literally be anything, like health problems, feeling stuck in life, feeling unsure of what your next step is going to be, or even if you're depressed. If you have the means, definitely I would say travel or just changing up your location is number one, but it doesn't have to be that drastic or expensive, you know? Like, it can be something as simple as, like, for me, I'm supposed to wait until 12 p.m. to eat, right? But it's like 5:30 a.m. right now, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get the munchies. How am I going to last from now until 12 p.m.? If I find my will or my resolve weakening, I will just straight up go to the movies or find some activity that really locks me in for the next couple of hours. It can't be something like I always do, which is staying at home, watching things on YouTube, you know, doing random decluttering my apartment or something, because that's too mundane. That's too everyday to be able to overcome the temptation of trying to break my fast too early. So it needs to be something more drastic where I physically cannot get to food, right? Or like my brain is too preoccupied with something so new and novel that it really does distract me in the genuine sense until the time that I can actually eat. Trying to think of another example. But yeah, like for me lately, I mean, movies, honestly, it works, okay? I know it sounds so silly and mundane, but think about it. Like, in order to go to the movies, you can of course buy a ticket at the gate, but I like to reserve my tickets online because then it's super easy. You can just go in and scan the barcode. Once you pay, that's already like 90% you have to commit to it, right? Because you don't want to let something go to waste that you already paid for. So that already locks me in, the fact that I pay for it first before I go, and then I have to physically get there, right? And then I'm physically stuck there in the theater for however many hours that the movie runs. So as simple and silly as it seems, it's very effective if I want to distract myself, or like if I'm trying to lock in the discipline for something that I have not built the neural pathways for yet. For you, maybe you like to explore different cafes, or if you like to, you know, look for, I don't know, go thrift shopping, go to the bookstore. You could be one of those salarymen that never buys a book but just stands there in the window reading reading the manga in the bookstore. I always wonder, what do the bookstore employees think of such people? That was a lot more widespread in konbinis, especially with like newspapers and magazines and stuff, but then I don't know when they started doing it, but they really started to discourage that by binding the notebooks together. So if you go into the konbini now and if you pick up any magazine, chances are it's going to be taped together, or there's going to be a rubber band around it to make sure that you cannot stand there and read it without actually purchasing the item. Oh yeah, another one is just, I mean, see, it's so simple that I have to think about it before I can tell you, because it's something that does not even occur to me that this is the technique that I use. But then when I really dig deep, I'm like, oh yeah, this is just normal to me, but I guess beneath the surface, it's actually a great tactic. So window shopping is another thing, right? It's a way for me to keep on top of my fitness. I've been someone that's always found it difficult to exercise intentionally. Like, I never associated exercise, stretching, jogging, going to the gym. None of those inspire any sort of positive feelings in me. I mean, jogging, never. I'm just not a person. I'm not a runner. I have like very bad memories of it from grade school, and it's never been my thing, never gonna be my thing. I don't want it to be my thing. It's fine. Okay, I can leave the running to the natural born runners of the world. But sometimes, you know, if I'm too busy to actually like go to the studio to take the dance classes, which is my preferred form of exercise, at this point it kind of runs subconsciously in me, right? Like, I'll find myself doing it and then I don't even realize until later why I decided to do it, but then it's like a pleasant surprise because I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess instead of self-sabotaging now, I'm like self-supporting. I'm self-propelling subconsciously, which is really, really cool. Like when you get to that point of your self-work that you can trust yourself on that level, it's really cool. So like exercise is one of those things, right? I don't like to jog. I don't like the idea of going into a gym. Even like watching a YouTube workout video, that's not the worst thing in the world to me, but my top preferred form of exercise is definitely going to a dance class. That is the only scenario so far in my life that I found to be genuinely fun. It's the only thing that can make exercise fun for me is if I take a dance class. So I can't do that if I'm like super busy, right? Or if I have a lot of deadlines and just different things going on in my life. And so in place of that, I found that I just window shop. Luckily, I have a pretty spaced out neighborhood. Like the area is not that exciting. There's not that many things to do here, but things are very spaced out. So like for example, I was telling you there's 3 different Sundrug stores in the same general area, but I have to walk like a huge circle to get to all of those, right? Since each of those kind of have different brands and different products available, and I might want like a different product from each Sundrug, I'll just go on a trip to all 3, and that will be easily an hour of walking, right? So shopping is exercise, you guys. That is the moral of the story. I'm gonna go. My voice is dying. If it wasn't, I would love to continue this discussion because I think like this is such an important skill to be able to learn how to do. It's important for you to recognize the ways that this would work for you, right? Like the specific activities that you can use to pattern interrupt your own life or your own tendencies so that you can stop yourself from sabotaging yourself. And it's different for every person, right? So you can take mine, obviously, if they resonate with you, like going to the movies, you know, walking around to different shops and convenies to find the exact items that you're looking for, and then getting exercise in at the same time. Those might not necessarily be effective for you, right? Like you have to find those secret keys for yourself that will block you from sabotaging yourself. Let me know what yours are. I would love to hear in the comments.